Ever wondered over why British and American English spell words differently, even when they mean the same thing? Well, you're not alone. This puzzle has interested language fans for centuries. The reason? It's all down to historical influences and linguistic evolution. British English, true to its roots, holds on to spellings from languages like French and German, a linguistic time capsule, preserving the hints of its rich history. On the other side of the pond, American English takes a somewhat different approach, often based on pronunciation, aiming for a more phonetic and simplified spelling system. This divergence in spellings can be traced back to two influential dictionaries: Samuel Johnson's dictionary in 1755, which solidified British English spellings, and Noah Webster's dictionaries in the early 19th century, which popularized American English spellings. So let's dive deeper into these fascinating spelling contrasts, shall we? Let's start with a simple yet ubiquitous example, the word color. In the land of stars and stripes, it's spelled C-O-L-O-R. But hop across the pond to the land of tea and crumpets, and you'll find an extra U, making it C-O-L-O-U-R. This isn't just a quirky British thing, it's a convention. In American English, the U in words like color, flavor, and honor is typically dropped. Why, you may ask? Well, it's all down to a man named Noah Webster. He thought American English should be simplified, and so he took out the U in these words, making them easier to spell and closer to their pronunciation. Now, let's talk about center and center. In British English, center is spelled C-E-N-T-R-E, but in American English, the re is flipped to giving us center, spelled C-E-N-T-E-R. So if you're talking about the middle of something, remember, in Britain, it's the center, and in America, it's the center. And what about words ending with "-ies" or "-e's"? In American English, we use "-eyes" as in realize, while British English prefers "-eyes" as in realize. But don't be fooled. This rule isn't always set in stone. And you thought it was just a matter of ooh, but there's more, so stick around. Let's move on to another common divergence, words ending in "-eyes" and "-eyes". Now, if you're flipping through a British English dictionary, you'll often stumble upon words ending with "-eyes". Take organize, for example. It's simple, right? But wait a minute. If you were to look at the same word in an American English dictionary, you'd find it spelled as organize. Yes, you heard that right. The British uses where the Americans use Z. It's not just organize and organize either. This rule applies to a whole host of words. Realize becomes realize. Apologize transforms into apologize, and so on. But here's a fun fact. This isn't a hard and fast rule. There are exceptions like surprise, which is spelled with an S in both versions of English. Confusing, isn't it? But that's what makes English such an intriguing language. So whether you're an eyes person or an eyes person, remember that both are correct, depending on which side of the Atlantic you are. It's not about being right or wrong. It's about understanding the nuances that add to the rich tapestry of the English language. It seems like a small difference, but it's these tiny variations that make English such a diverse language. So, we've seen some of the ways British and American English spellings diverge. It's quite a journey, isn't it? Just to recap, these variations have their roots in history and linguistic evolution. British English, for instance, holds on to spellings from languages like French and German. American English, on the other hand, often bases its spellings on how words sound when pronounced. Two dictionaries, one by Samuel Johnson in 1755 and another by Noah Webster in the early 19th century, played a major part in shaping these differences. Johnson's work solidified British English spellings, while Webster's popularized American English spellings. The examples we've looked at, like color versus color, and the eyes versus ice endings, illustrate these differences. Of course, these are just a handful of examples. There are many more out there, and they all tell a story of how English continues to evolve and adapt in different regions. So next time you come across a word spelled differently, you'll know it's just English showing off its diversity and adaptability. Keep exploring, keep learning,